It had to be given to the CBI to find any element of criminality in them. The Income Tax Department on its own cannot find the element of criminality, therefore it had to transfer it to the CBI. If the Honorable Court may permit, the Council would like to move ahead with the second issue. Much obliged, Your Lordship. It is humbly believed before this Honorable Court that the government is not liable for negligence. The three most essential elements to prove the existence of negligence are the legal duty to take care, a breach of this said duty, and consequential damage. Your Lordship, in the present case, Ms. Ria has made an allegation that the government is liable for the leakage of publication of a conversation in the newspaper. The prima facie evidence does not prove that the government is liable. The government has taken due care on its part. Therefore, there has been no breach of the said duty. All the reasonable precautions that have been taken by the government have been taken. As stated in the facts, Saurashtra's communication industry is very good. Therefore, there could have been anyone else who could have taped with Ms. Ria's telephones and leaked the conversations. There are no concrete evidence that clearly underline the fact that it was the government agency through which the tapes were leaked. Ms. Ria has frequent conversations with CEOs of top global companies on a regular basis about deal making and fixing. There is a huge possibility that someone else from the business world would have done it for the purpose of business competition or for other reasons. Moreover, there are no private conversations. These are conversations between a professional consultant and her clients. These show glimpses of all kinds of deal making and fixing going on. There is enormous public interest in putting these tapes out. It is absurd to say that any right to privacy has been infringed. The right mandates timely response to a citizen's request for government information. In this case, there is overwhelming public interest which warrants the disclosure of this information to the citizens of the country. Assuming, Your Lordship, the act of the government is negligent, the government is still not liable as it is a sovereign function under the Section 5(2) of the Indian Telegraph Act to take the conversation. In the landmark judgment given by the Supreme Court in the case of Kasturi Lal versus State of UP, it was held that
as an evidence is different from publication of the information taken by the agencies. Income tax or sending it to CBI, isn't it different from publication in the newspaper?
Yes, Your Lordship, it's absolutely different, but we are not being through the government. There is no prima facie fact that states, no evidence that states that the government is the only was the only one with the possession of
how this confidential information was leaked.
Your Lordship, the government has taken due care and therefore there is no negligence on part of the government. There is possibility, Your Lordship, that communication industry in Saurashtra is the third largest in the world. Maybe, yes, Your Lordship, there is a huge possibility that anyone could have easily taped.
Is government taking any precaution that the information should not be leaked?
Definitely, Your Lordship. Every
it is leaked in spite of that. Compass.
Your Lordship, any information that has been taped by the Income Tax Department and further transferred to the CBI and the Income Tax Department have taken all possible and due care for all the precautions have been taken. Therefore, the negligence is not on the part of the government.
Because using the material as an evidence, it's okay.
Yes, Lord.
But for publication of,
Your Lordship, that is what
doesn't permit any of the department.
Yes, much obliged, Your Lordship. But the Council is contending that there is no negligence on the part of the government. Therefore, there has been no publication of the tapes through the government or by any negligence. We are denying the fact that any of the publication was because by the government.
Why CBI is not investigating how the information was leaked for publication in the matter?
On the court and the council appearing on behalf of Ms. Veera in the state of Veera versus the state of Saurashtra. With the prior permission of the court, may the council proceed to the facts of the case. Saurashtra is the second most populous state of India. It is the financial and cultural capital of India. Ms. Veera is running a consultancy business in Saurashtra. During 2011, her phone was intercepted for a period of 300 days. She comes to know from leading newspapers that her conversation with a deputated person has been leaked. She files a petition petition in the High Court of India on the basis of Article 226 on the fearing loss of business and reputation. The High Court of Saurashtra gives the verdict that the Act of State was arbitrary and violated her right to privacy and hence is unconstitutional. The State of Saurashtra has filed an appeal in the Supreme Court. With the prior permission of the court, may the counsel proceed to search. Your Lordship, my first issue is whether the Act of the government is unconstitutional. It's humbly contended before this honourable court that the Act of the government is unconstitutional. Ms. Veera is running a consultancy business in the state of Saurashtra. Her phone is intercepted for a period of 300 days. Your Lordship, all these conversations are private and business-oriented conversations. As a businesswoman, she is entitled to hold business conversations with her clients. Moreover, if you look into the business of consultancy, it runs on the pillars of trust, goodwill, and reputation. That means the clients impose a huge amount of trust in her and thus share confidential information. Your Lordship, we also know that business communication includes maintaining trade secrets. That the telephone is included within the purview of the privacy of an individual was upheld by the Fetal Union for Civil Liberty versus Union of India. The Supreme Court held that the telephone tapping is a serious invasion of an individual's privacy. It's a kind of technological eavesdropping. Conversations on the telephone are often of an intimate and confidential character. Your Lordship, the Council would like to stress on the fact that conversations on the telephone are often of an intimate and confidential character, which means that Ms. Veera, as a businesswoman, is entitled to hold her intimate and confidential information through the phone, and she is also entitled to the privacy of the same. Your Lordship, in another case in 2011, the Supreme Court held a similar view. The case was Amar Singh versus Union of India and others. The Supreme Court held it was a serious step of intercepting the telephone conversation of a person, and by doing so, the service provider was invading the privacy right of the person concerned, which is the fundamental right protected under the Constitution. Your Lordship, the Council stresses on the fact that it's a fundamental right protected under the Constitution and has been upheld by the Supreme Court. Your Lordship, in PUCL versus Union of India, the Supreme Court also laid down certain guidelines for intercepting the telephone. It said that if a telephone needs to be tapped, then the Home Secretary of the Union Government or the respective state government can issue an order to this effect. Strong reasons have to be specified in order to issue such a directive. Such an order shall be enforced only for 2 months unless there is another order which will give the Home Secretary the right to extend it by another 6 months only. Your Lordship, the Council would like to state the fact that the extent to which a telephone can be intercepted is only 180 days, which is way beyond 300 days, which is the extent of the telephone to which the telephone can be intercepted is 180 days. In the instant case, the telephone was intercepted for a period of 300 days, which is way beyond 180 days. Also, there is nothing in the stated fact which states that there is permission taken of the Home Government or the Home Secretary. Your Lordship, further going on Section 5(2) of the Indian Telegraph Act, it clearly states tapping a phone can only be done when it is expedient in the interest of the sovereignty and integrity of India, the security of the state, friendly relations with foreign states, or public order of preventing incitement to the commission of offence. Your Lordship, there is nothing in the stated fact which gives an indication that any of these reasons was the reason that they intercepted Ms. Veera's telephone. Thus, the Council humbly contends that the action of the government was arbitrary and was done without regulation and without following the regulations for telephone privacy. With the prior permission of the court, with the Council proceed to the second issue. Your Lordship, my second issue is whether the government is liable for negligence. Your Lordship, there are 3 essentials which need to be covered in order to prove negligence. The first is a legal duty to exercise due care on the part of the complaint, on the part of the party complained of towards the party complaining. The former's conduct within the scope of the duty. The second is breach of the said duty, and third is consequential damage. Your Lordship, the act of the government is clearly negligent, as the custody of the tapes was with the government. Thus, it owed a legal duty towards Ms. Veera to protect these tapes. Also, it is very clearly mentioned that these tapes contain confidential information. These tapes, and were done with a reputed person. Your Lordship, as I mentioned earlier, consultancy runs on the pillars of goodwill